Hello everybody, Jason Meyer here and welcome to Masterworks. It's great to have you here. Tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. We've been talking for, what was this, February? We went through December, January, and the middle of February. For about 2.5 months we've been looking at paintings. And it just so happens that my studio's in complete disarray. And rather than fighting with it, I thought we would just go along with it. So tonight what we're going to do is I'm going to set my timer for 30 minutes and we're going to talk a little bit about the methods of the masters. Okay, so tonight's going to be a little bit more of a demonstration, but I want to demonstrate how they achieve some of these looks. So if I can have your guys' permission to do that, then we'll go ahead and get started. Let's see, Shakti made it. Hello, Shakti. Hello, hello. And Susan. Susan. Cindy's making sure it's all up and running, that I'm on the right page. Everybody knows what page I'm on if I'm not on the right page. Thank you, baby. Good, and Wendy made it. Hi, guys. Hi. So again, I thought tonight what I would do is I'm kind of in the creative mode, which means I'm not real language functioning. Two different things. So I thought while I'm in that mode, let's just look at a few things as far as a demo goes. So why don't we just go ahead and use one of our references from this month, Miss Millie. Miss Millie, did I remember to load her up? I don't think I remembered to load her up. So let's see here. Let's see. Alright, so this is the reference photo that's being used. And again, I'm just taking off of it. I'm not trying to match this. Look, I've got more of a tilt, don't I, than yeah, I do. But that's going to make it more dynamic. Right? So whatever the painting takes. We'll see if we can leave this here. We'll leave that there. We'll open this up. Alright, I don't hear anybody yelling and screaming, no, demo. So if you guys don't stop me, this is what we're going to do tonight. We're going to look at some of these methods. So what's happened is I got the canvas stained, and it's bone dry now, so there's no need to oil it out. And then I was trying to get some of my piles ready so that we can go a little quicker tonight. And I've just started with my black. And what you're going to see tonight is I'm going to make sure that we focus where we need to focus and try to set up this small little area and see if we can't, I don't know, in 30 minutes it's asking a lot. But let's see where we go and how fast we get there. We go as fast as we go. All right, all I needed was one go for it, a double dog dare. And that look at those exclamation marks. That looks like a double dog dare to me. Okay. All right. Oops. Sometimes it takes just a minute to grab a paper towel. And so, since I want to focus here, one of the things we're doing is we're making this shape much more distinct. And then over here, this dark is just going to be a general dark shape without any detail of the eyeball. Okay. And then I do want to really stop this. And what I mean by stop it is we need a shadow. We need a good shadow. And so if her head's tilted this way, what's that angle we got there? Right? So just quieting all this down, making it nice and flat. We're going to build to a big crescendo, and we've got to have enough power here to stop them. Stop them after we make all that mess and noise. Right, and so part of what I want to demonstrate tonight is that you don't have to do a lot to get a lot out of your image. So, talked about that before. We're going to extend that out to the ear. Some of that light of the ear and then the shadow of the ear, and it comes down how far. The mouth is here. Bottom of the neck is here. Drops down, and I want it to be up above that, so no matter what I see, it's got to be up above that at that angle. Okay, so also it's not just about copying, but it's about getting some good design happening. So we'll tie that right up with that. Okay, getting more out of the shapes. More out of the shapes. I need that to turn away. Maybe have one more. I don't want those to be equal. And we can take off as well as we can put down. Claudia, so she's still getting a countdown, huh? You guys let me know if anybody else is hearing my voice, but... Ah, there she is. There she is. Well, I'm in a pretty tiny space here. I gotta use tiny brushes, and I can't stand up and paint like I usually do, so... Yes, sometimes tiny brushes, when it matters. When it matters. Okay, let's see. And then on this side, we've got to hold that head, but we don't want to use as much black. We don't want to use as much black. Okay, you see that structure of that head happening? Right, turn that neck. So get a little turn there. And maybe a little thing showing we're going under. Let's see, what's the ear situation? What's this ear situation? What's that ear situation? Lights coming here. Where's the bottom of that ear? Okay, hey, who didn't start the timer? Okay. So we're 10 minutes in, so 20. Okay, so more, that's all one. And then we've got some little dark spots there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, how's my background going to compare to this dark? Right, so we're going to go dark to our background. So, what direction are we going, more with the background or less with the background? Well, the background needs to be weaker than that shadow. The background needs to be weaker than that shadow. That seems pretty dark, doesn't it? Does that seem way too dark? Seems way too dark to me. But hold on a second. Hold on a second. If I spread that around, does that seem a little more appropriate? Let's see, she's looking that way, so let's have some light running this way. So close that off there. And let's close this off under here. So is that too dark? Do we need it lighter? I don't know, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. Well, what can we do to get it lighter? Well, one thing is we could just wipe it back a little bit. So look how when I use the stain of the canvas versus more of a flat paint, that helps separate those off. So even with the nature of the paint or the quality of the paint can make a big difference in how it looks. Look how fluid this is. Right, that's a different kind of paint than that was used there. And so the consistency of the paint, the quality of the paint really matters. And if you're sensitive with it, one color and one paint can really do quite a few jobs. It can look right. If we wanted to, could we go a little flatter and quieter over here? More active on this side. And again, can we control how active this is over here? You betcha. Look how different that looks versus that. And then what would happen if and then that's a different look, isn't it? So again, the masters figure out how to get more from their paint. More from their paint. Okay? We have colors that are brighter and more consistent these days, so why aren't our paintings better? Why aren't our paintings better? All right, man, time goes by fast when you're painting. Time goes by fast when you're painting, but what do we do? What are we doing here? What are we doing? We're trying to see if we can't get you right up there to Millie's eye. How are we going to get you right there to Millie's eye? Well, we've got our black. I'm missing a stick. Where'd my special stick go? What do I want to do with this highlight? I want to keep it thick All right, can you see that? So that's much different than that kind of paint I was using. Right, this is much thicker. So by using that on the highlights and some of the white fur, it's going to really stand out. But I want to do this highlight in 2 stages in the eye. And the first stage is I want it to be a little bit cool. And that's going to help us walk off of that black or edge back into it, depending on what direction you're heading there from. Hey. There's my special little cocktail umbrella. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up this highlight. Man, it's a small little highlight. That's a small little highlight. Would you guys like to join me for this? You guys like to join me for this? Almost. Let's see. There we go. Alright, so the end of the toothpick, the light's coming in this direction. Okay, so just a little glow right there. And then inside that glow, I want just a bit. There we are. There we are. Something that's going to grab a little attention. Something that'll grab a little attention. The inside of the nose would catch a little. Okay. Now, how about that black in light? So that black and light, I'm going to keep really dark. They get slightly lighter and a little bit cooler. So all black and light. Thinking about planes. Alright, are we setting up for setting up so that white can show off? Okay. That way a little bit and that way. But you see how it's unequal? But yet it still works, twisting and turning and fitting together. Yeah, interesting shapes. We got to have those interesting shapes. Okay, we better get to it fast. So now we need some white in shadow. So some white and shadow. I feel like that's probably going to be too much. So it just seemed a little high chromatically. So we're going to gray that down. Right? If dark white and light white are the same, you have no dark and light. So we got to make sure that we've got that light, that white and shadow. That white and shadow, then we've got to separate that underplane from this forward plane and shadow planes. How are we going to do that? We might do that a little lighter, but let's keep this going down here. This will probably disappear a little bit more. Okay, again, we're trying to get, what are we trying to do? Trying to get to focused on Millie's eye. On Millie's eye. For a half-hour show, it says I got about 6 minutes left. Oof. Doesn't seem like much time, but let's get all this shadowy stuff taken care of. Get that shadowy stuff taken care of. And then as we come out of that shadow, how are we doing? Doing okay? Are we gonna get the focus where we need to? I don't know, does it look pretty sloppy? Maybe. Maybe. What's going on? What's going on? What part is all this light? Okay, so that looks better. But this background is still competing. Still competing. Oh, you background. Why are you hogging all the attention? So we've got in the cup, Claudia was asking what's in the cup. I've got Galkid light on one side for like the background. And then when I need it a little thicker and chunker, I've got Neo Magelp on this side. So Galkid light and Neo Magelp. And so those work pretty good in concert. In concert together. So let's see, we want a little light going through there, back there. We say we want a little light. I mean, guys, I got 6 minutes. It's got to be under 6 minutes now. I can't fool around. I can't fool around. Oops, the clock says 24. So I'm going to say I have 6 minutes left. Okay, so call that the brightest bright. Let's get a little medium and start walking off that pretty quick. Okay, so we wanted something like that. Let's stretch it over here maybe. Pull it all the way to the side. And now what we got to do? What we got to do? Close in a little bit. Close in a little bit. Is it happening? What do you think? So notice that even though I'm holding down here, my wrist isn't moving. I'm doing these sorts of, I'm still moving from my shoulder, right? I like to stand back and I prefer to hold the brush like this at the end, but my shoulders are burning already from how I am. I just can't get high enough for the cameras to work. So I'm doing, but as my wrist, notice that I'm not doing that. Right? I'm still moving from my shoulder. Makes a big difference in the marks you leave. Makes a big difference. Okay, I don't want to go too much into this because I need to figure out a little of that, and that's a little more technical. But again, if we cover this bottom right now that we haven't got to, are we seeing what we need to see? Right? We talked about kind of expanding off this light a little bit, but also keeping it compressed. Right? So I'm going to try to take all of that out. How much time? It says we've got 4 minutes. Well, that's good because I haven't even put in the white yet, have we? And that's got to be the funnest part, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Seems to me like it would be. Seems to me like it would be. So just trying to get some more texture. Right, to have a most. Very important to have a most. Right, we don't want even white. Now then, Millie's not a spring chicken anymore. Millie's not a spring chicken anymore. These days, Izzy's the only spring chicken in the house. So there may be a little gray sneaking in here and there on Millie. Maybe a little bit of gray sneaking in here and there. Alright, so that'll be a little lighter grayer than, say, black in light. Okay. How are we doing? It says I got 1 minute. Anything I can do in 1 minute? Alright. So now what would happen if I took a big, large brush and just made sure it wasn't dry, but it's wet so it doesn't scrape through the paint. Let's work from our darkest out. Or in, excuse me, from the darkest in. So I know there's a little glare on this. We'll take care of that in a second. Got this. But what we want to do is make that background definitely different than that foreground. So sometimes, especially in these early stages, I don't want it to be so regular. Alright, it's not so clear where one starts and the other stops, because this is background. So by taking more clarity out of the background, the pup will be stronger. Alright. Okay guys, I hope this has been helpful. Again, I think it's real helpful to see the paint applied and how we move it around. Again, notice how strong, gotta have something here. Notice how strong that lower part is. We take that off and the part we worked on, where are you going? Well, you're going where we want you to. Do we have the details worked out? Not yet, but we need to get you in the right part of the canvas before we can really show our stuff. All right. So I hope you found this helpful. If not, at least entertaining. I think we're going to call it a night right there. Send everybody on their way. Tomorrow we have morning jump start. And since the studio is like it is, there's a good chance that I might just do the little demo on the landscape. So no final decision on that yet, but you'll have to tune in tomorrow at 8 a.m. right here on YouTube to find out. So thank you everybody for joining me. Woo, we're a little close. We're a little close. Maybe I should show you. There we go. There we go. So that's what we look like. That's what we look like. If we cover that up, then I think we're on our way. I think we're on our way. All right, like always, I'm Jason Meyer, and this has been Sketch Club. Really appreciate you guys hanging in there and doing a little something different tonight. Sometimes you just need to shake it up a little bit. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your attention, and I hope to see you tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. And Sketch Club is tomorrow night. Woohoo! Who doesn't love Sketch Club? See you guys later. Bye.